goat of Disney. I eat everything. All right, everybody, it's Corey story time. So kick back, relax, put your feet up, and get ready to listen to this one. We're not just going to report Disney news and just talk about it. I mean, that's already been done a million times. But then again, we do love Disney news. We will talk about some. This is not your grandfather's Disney podcast. So I'm watching this new thing on Netflix. Let's talk about it. So Tammy has me running all over Disney World looking for this new Loungefly. Jillian loves China so much that if she was ever lost, she would need a tag on her shirt that says, "If lost, return me to China." Jacob's my dude. Jacob is my tech man. He makes me sound good.
I thought there were quite a few worthy and fun articles to cover this week on Disney Parks blog. And the first one is the legacy of Disney's Animal Kingdom 25 years later. And after I record this, I'm about to go to Animal Kingdom on its 25th birthday and celebrate there. And it should be a lot of fun. We'll be checking out the celebratory snacks, merchandise. Hopefully the pass holder merchandise is better than the regular merchandise. We weren't too crazy about it and don't plan on spending any money on the standard stuff, but we'll see if the pass holder stuff reveals something better. Let's hope so. So this article was written by Sarah Riles. She is the vice president of Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park. On Earth Day 1998, Walt Disney World Resort invited guests to discover a one-of-a-kind theme park where they could be inspired by the magic of the natural world. The opening of Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park 25 years ago introduced a whole new way to appreciate, enjoy, and interact with the animals while delivering incredible news stories that celebrated our relationship to the environment. The fourth Walt Disney World theme park was also Disney's largest, spreading out over 500 acres. Disney's Animal Kingdom combined Walt Disney's love of animals, both real and imaginary, with exciting attractions, spectacular stage shows, and entertaining characters. From the Tree of Life, which features 337 sculpted animals in its trunk, to the floating mountains, bioluminescence, and top-rated attractions in Pandora, the world of Avatar. We continue to creatively celebrate and inspire guests in ways only Disney's Animal Kingdom can. True, there were and are breathtaking animal encounters, from an Africa safari adventure to meandering mystical trail that leads guests on an exciting search for tigers, to thrilling theatrical productions, and so much more. But this park is also the way for Disney to inspire people the spectacular breadth and beauty of nature and animals through the power of a world-class entertainment and storytelling only known by Disney. At Disney's Animal Kingdom, guests encounter wild adventures like taking flight on the back of a banshee with Avatar Flight of Passage, rocketing on a high-speed train adventure through Expedition Everest Legend of the Forbidden Mountain, and diving into stellar musical stage shows including Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond, and the larger-than-life Festival of the Lion King. Over the last 5 years, the park has continually evolved into and expanded with new attractions, entertainment, and even entirely new lands as Asia and Pandora, the world of Avatar. We've made it a priority to continue investing in new and exciting opportunities for our guests, giving them more reasons not only to return to Disney's Animal Kingdom and the Central Florida region, but also reaffirm the state of Florida as an unforgettable tourist destination. We also cherish that our guests come back to admire, interact with, and be inspired by our thousands of beloved animals. In fact, about 45 of them have been here since before opening day. Whoa. We don't think of that, do we? Wow. Many of the most remarkable accomplishments from Disney's Animal Kingdom happen behind the scenes, where our Disney's Animals Science and Environment team cares for nearly 2,000 animals representing over 200 different species. Throughout the 25 years of Disney's Animal Kingdom, Disney has made significant contributions to the preservation and well-being of animals, not only at the theme park, but also around the community, state, and globe. Though funding from the Walt Disney Company is supplemented by the generous contributions of guests, the Disney Conservation Fund has invested more than $125 million in conservation efforts that have supported more than 1,000 species and protected 315 million acres globally since 1995. And here in Florida, Disney recently announced a $500,000 donation to 5 conservation organizations to help make a happier, healthier planet possible for all. Conservation Florida, Florida Wildlife Corridor Foundation, the Nature Conservancy, Trout Lake Nature Center, and Wekiva Wilderness Trust. With each organization receiving $100,000, these grants made a number of projects possible, from expanding land protection initiatives to ensuring healthy canopy average in underserved communities, finding solutions to clean drinking water for those in need, and funding educational opportunities for youth around the state. Our team of passionate veterans, nutritionists, and animal keepers, as well as educators and scientists, not only delivers the absolute highest care to the animals that call Disney's Animal Kingdom home, but they take that knowledge out into the world, spanning the globe with a mission to enhance the world's understanding of protecting, conserving, and enhancing natural resources and wildlife future generations. Disney's Animal Kingdom has an incredible impact in places like Africa, South America, and Asia, helping communities protect habitats and species in some of the most remote corners of the world, from the tiniest cotton-top tamarins to the mightiest of elephants. And locally, we've worked with partners around the state to help protect nesting habitats for sea turtles, rescue and release dozens of manatees, and restore and repopulate corals to help restore Florida's coral reef. As an accredited member of the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, Disney's Animal Kingdom has also collaborated with AZA members to help increase populations of endangered and extinct species, such as the Guam rail and the Guam kingfisher birds. Following AZA species survival plans, the park has welcomed a variety of animals from endangered species into the world, including Sumatran tigers, western lowland gorillas, African elephants, cotton-top tamarins, and okapi, to name a few. In fact, Disney's Animal Nutrition Center has served as a model test kitchen for a number of AZA-accredited facilities who have adopted many of the nutritional diets developed specifically for the animals here at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Today, at the recording of this, we do celebrate the 25 wild years of Disney's Animal Kingdom, but the legacy the park leaves on the world around us. That legacy is more than a theme park with incredible animals. It's more than remarkable shows and experiences that leave us with a sense of wonder. Disney's Animal Kingdom forever impacted everything we understood about the environment, animals, and the world around us. And that legacy of celebrating and supporting the natural world will live on to impact generations and generations to follow. Rebecca Goldenberg, Communications Manager at Disney Parks Experiences and Products, wrote an article called Disneyland Resort Joins the Halfway to Halloween Fun. With Halfway to Halloween underway, Disneyland Resort is joining in on the haunted fun. While we'll share the full details about the upcoming Halloween season later this year, we didn't want to miss out on unveiling some spine-tingling announcements on what's to come. Check it out. For a grim-grinning good time, Oogie Boogie Bash, a Disney Halloween party, will return this upcoming Halloween season on select nights this fall. You can don your favorite costume for a frightfully fun time at this separately ticketed, limited capacity after-hours event at Disneyland California Adventure Park. It's never too early to start planning that costume. More details on this year's Oogie Boogie Bash will be announced later this summer. One of the favorite parts of the Halloween season at the Disneyland Resort is seeing the new outfits on Mickey Mouse and his friends. This year, they'll don luminescent sheer fabrics that will give a ghostly glow to their festive new ensembles at Disneyland Park. Be on the lookout for lots of cobwebs and details like the bat bow ties and the spider-shaped bells. I can't wait to join Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, and their friends in their bewitching attire this Halloween season. But for those who simply can't wait for the Halloween season, never fear. You can celebrate Halfway to Halloween at Disneyland Resort now through April 23rd. You may have peeped earlier this week in the Halfway to Halloween foodie guide some wickedly delicious treats that you can enjoy now at the Disneyland Resort. To activate your taste buds, check them out here. The Mini Witch apple is Granny Smith apple dipped in caramel with marshmallow ears and robed in milk chocolate and dipped in white chocolate and orange M&Ms placed all over and rolled in purple sugar. Oogie Boogie crisped rice treat is Oogie Boogie shaped crisped rice treat dipped in green, white chocolate with a dark chocolate face, and that's black. Jack Skellington Cake Pop, which is a vanilla cake pop dipped in white chocolate with a black dark chocolate face. All of the treats are available through April 23rd at Candy Palace and Candy Kitchen, Pooh Corner, Trolley Treats, Bing Bong Sweet Stuff, and Marceline's Confectionery. Is your mouth watering yet? For some devilishly delicious treats at the downtown Disney District, check out the Halloween Churro, the Halloween Jack-o'-lantern Macaron. That one has fruit-flavored crisp rice cereal buttercream filling. And the churro has drizzled peanut butter and chocolate sauce topped with peanut butter candy pieces. And while you're hanging out in the downtown Disney District this week and feeling that Halfway to Halloween spirit, mosey on over to Love Pop to find a Nightmare Before Christmas or Hocus Pocus bouquet. These creepy cards are perfect for loved ones who wish it were Halloween all year round. The countdown is on. Happy Halfway to Halloween, y'all. Let's go internationally now to Shanghai Disney Resort. This article was written on April 21st, and it was written by Maggie Hesse. She's the public relations manager at Shanghai Disney Resort. As we celebrate Halfway to Halloween, we're turning our focus over to Shanghai Disney Resort, taking a tour of can't-miss experiences found only during the Halloween season. From the most popular food items to spellbinding photo spots, take a look at everything you need to know about Halloween at Shanghai Disney Resort. Number 1, snap perfectly petrifying photos. What better way to preserve the memory of the Halloween experience than with photos? Every year, the resort transforms thanks to enchanting Halloween-themed decor, including an opulent social wall. A popular Halloween selfie must include Mickey and Friends or Duffy and Friends in their Halloween outfits. Find them on Mickey Avenue or in Donald's Halloween Treat Cavalcade. Another fan favorite shot involves the Disney villains, who make special appearances during the Halloween celebrations. During last year's Halloween Spooktacular Extravaganza, the Halloween Villains Fireworks Show made a striking showcase of the Disney villains, a perfect backdrop for your scary selfie fun. Number 2, indulge in tasty treats. While there's never any shortage of delicious options exclusive to the Halloween celebrations, you must try the flavorful popcorn in themed buckets and delectable desserts. Word on the street is that there are the most widely sought after offerings by guests who visit the resort. And who can blame them? Here's a look back at their pumpkin-flavored ice cream and other mouth-watering treats. And you can see those displayed. They're very pretty. We've got a dark cone with pastel sprinkles and looks like the pumpkin swirl. And I don't even know what's coming out of that, but there's a white chocolate Donald Duck dressed in a costume. It's hard to tell what his theme is. And yeah, we've got one of Duffy's friends with a spider web type of chocolate hanging off the side. And there's a Minnie Mouse one too. She's dressed. Not sure if there's a specific theme with that, but you'll have to go to Disney Parks blog and check out those photos for sure. Number 3, find all the resort's pumpkins. Did you know that for 2022 Halloween celebrations, there were more than 80 character-inspired pumpkins throughout the Shanghai Disneyland and Disney Town? We aren't playing any tricks on you. It's true. This year, see how many you can find. And lastly, venture down to Disney Town. The fun doesn't end at Shanghai Disneyland. Disney Town is where it is at. In the past, the Disney Town Halloween Tour brought a fun DIY dress-up workshop and trick-or-treat parade for a fantastic treat experience for the whole family and kids of all ages. Additionally, the resort's 2 hotels offer the perfect Halloween getaway experience with an array of ghoulish displays, limited-time foods, and other fun offerings that enticed guests to stay for a spell. Follow along the Disney Parks blog and social and see what our other international parks, Hong Kong Disneyland Resort, Tokyo Disney Resort, and Disneyland Paris, are getting up to during the halfway to Halloween fun. If you're about to start planning your next Disney vacation, book it with Your Magical Adventures Await. Claudia is creating Disney Adventures worldwide. She could create a magical adventure to Walt Disney World, Florida, any Disney park worldwide, Disney Cruise Lines, Aulani Resort in Hawaii, and guided group vacations with Adventures by Disney. Also, she is a Universal Studios expert. If you book with her, her services are free. Disney pays her to help you create a seamless magical adventure. Her availability is really unmatched. You can contact her Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Make your magical planner Claudia Inderson from Your Magical Adventures Await, 956-455-8049. You can also reach her on Instagram, Claudia Inderson, all one word. For more details, go to livingindiz.com to check out her ad there. Well, let's take a visit through Disney time and what happened this week in Disney. In 1964, the World's Fair in Flushing, New York is opened by U.S. President Johnson for the 64 season. The fair features over 100 pavilions on approximately 664 acres. That's 646 acres. The fair also includes 4 Disney attractions for Ford, General Electric, Pepsi-Cola, and the state of Illinois. Despite it being a rainy day, some 92,000 people visit. An opening ceremony takes place with a special parade that includes various Disney characters such as Mickey Mouse, Pinocchio, Alice in Wonderland, and more. On a VIP observation deck above, It's a Small World, located in the Pepsi Pavilion, Disney personnel, including designer artist Mary Blair, celebrate the team who has put together the exhibit from scratch in just 9 months. The fair will run through October 18th, 1964, and then reopen again on April 21st for the 65 season. In 1970, the very first Earth Day takes place, with over 20 million people participating. At this time, Americans are slurping leaded gas through massive V8 sedans, and industry is belching out smoke and sludge with little fear of legal consequences or bad press. Air pollution is commonly accepted as the smell of prosperity, and environment is merely a word that appears more often in spelling bees than on the evening news. In 1998, Disney World's $800 million Animal Kingdom opens in Florida with 5 attractions, 9 exhibits, 12 live entertainment shows, 11 merchandise locations, and 8 food locations. Spanning 500 acres, Animal Kingdom is billed as a new species of theme park. 2 of the 3 major lands, Africa and Dinoland USA, open on this date. Asia will open in 1999. On April 23rd, in 1969, musical cues and various sound effects are recorded at Whitney Studios and the Walt Disney World Productions Recording Studio stage, both located in California, for Disneyland's much-anticipated Haunted Mansion attraction, scheduled for an August debut. On April 24th, in 1982, singer-songwriter and television personality Kelly Clarkson is born in Fort Worth, Texas, rising to fame in 2002 after winning the first season of American Idol. She helped open the American Idol Experience theme park attraction in Florida in 2009. Her song Breakaway was featured in the 2004 The Princess Diaries 2 Royal Engagement, and she voiced herself in the Phineas and Ferb Christmas special, A Phineas and Ferb Family Christmas. In 2009, Imagineering legend Marty Sklar announces in a letter to all Imagineers that he will say goodbye to Walt Disney Imagineering on July 17th. The Disney legend Sklar began as a Disney cast member 53 years ago at Disneyland's Public Relations Department and joined WED Enterprises in 1961. Disney will honor him with a window dedication ceremony on his date of retirement. In 2013, Disney rolls out its new Monsters University monorail. Disney Pixar's prequel to 2001's Monsters, Inc. debuts in theaters on June 21st. On April 25th, 1961, Disney's loan from the Bank of America is finally paid off. Revenue from movies can now go directly to Walt Disney Productions. In 1965, puppeteer John Henson, the son of Muppet creator Jim Henson, is born in Greenwich, Connecticut. John performed Muppet character Sweetums starting in 1992 following the death of Richard Hunt, who trained John in performing Sweetums. His credits include the Disney feature films Muppet Treasure Island and Muppets Wizard of Oz. In 1972, Academy Award-winning actor George Sanders, the voice of Disney's Shere Khan in The Jungle Book and the husband of Zsa Zsa Gabor, passes away. April 26th. In 1992, the live Beauty and the Beast show, The Enchanted Bookshop, gives its final performance at Plaza Gardens in Disneyland. It has been running since November 1991. In 2012, a media preview takes place for Disney's Art of Animation Resort at Walt Disney World. Themed after 4 classic Disney animated films, it is located where construction on the unfinished half of Disney's Pop Century Resort was started, but later abandoned in September 2001. The Value Resort will open in 4 phases starting May 31st with the Finding Nemo section. In 2017, Johnny Depp surprises fans dressed up as Captain Jack Sparrow at Disneyland on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride through attraction. Depp waves his cutlass and talks to riders with his patented British slur on this evening. Not far from the animatronic versions of this character that appears throughout the ride, his appearance in celebration of the upcoming film Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales, which opened in U.S. theaters on May 26th. April 27th. 1992, American Express Travelport, located in Epcot's Communicore West, closes. The attraction had touchscreens that allowed guests to preview vacations anywhere in the world. In 1994, The Lion King original motion picture soundtrack, the original motion picture soundtrack for the 1994 Disney animated film The Lion King, is released for the very first time. It contains songs from the film written by Elton John and Tim Rice and a score composed by Hans Zimmer. It'll become the biggest selling soundtrack ever from an animated film. An expanded version of the Lion King soundtrack featuring 30 minutes of previously unreleased material will be released 20 years later. April 28th. In 1989, a Typhoon Lagoon sneak preview takes place for members of the press. The new Disney World water park will open June 1st. In 2008, It's a Small World opens in Hong Kong Disneyland. The Hong Kong Disneyland version of the attraction is mostly modeled after the original Disneyland counterpart, using a canal for the boats to travel through instead of the open-ended water track found in Magic Kingdom, Tokyo, and Paris versions. The attraction is the largest indoor attraction at Hong Kong Disneyland. In 2012, Mickey Mouse appears at Yankee Stadium to mark the official welcome of the Disney Cruise Line to New York City. April 29th, 1939, the premiere run of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs comes to a close when the Disney studio pulls it off the market in the U.S. by day's end. First premiering in December 1937, the popular animated film has been running since January 1938. In 1957, Shirley Temple takes part in the dedication of the Sleeping Beauty Castle walkthrough at Disneyland. In attendance is Walt Disney and Temple's oldest daughter, Linda, son Charles, and youngest daughter, Lori. Back in 1939, child star Shirley Temple had presented Walt Disney with an honorary Academy Award, 1 big Oscar, and 7 little ones for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. In 1989, at the 61st Academy Awards, the live-action animated Who Framed Roger Rabbit wins Oscars for film editing, sound effects, visual effects, and for animation direction. Disney MGM Studios holds a press preview with such celebrities as Audrey Hepburn, Bette Midler, Betty White, George Burns, and the Pointer Sisters. As she won't be present when the park officially opens Monday, May 1st, Audrey Hepburn leaves her handprints and signature on the courtyard of the Great Movie Ride. In 1994, the first phase of Disney's All-Star Resort Sports Resort, Surf's Up, located at 1991 West Buena Vista Drive, opens. A haven for sports fans, the Florida resort will eventually consist of 5 themed hotels, 10 buildings in all, each bordered by a giant sports icon. That's it for this week in Disney.
Thinking about wanting to live near Disney? With over a decade of helping people find the home of their dreams, Victor is the perfect realtor of La Rosa Realty Horizons to help you find the home of your dreams. Go to DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com. That's DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com. So if you're interested to moving near the magic, once again, contact Victor Naraki at DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com and let him know that Living in Diz sent you. Aaron and I were leaving Magic Kingdom last night, and the recording of this particular talk with Aaron and I is on the 16th of March. So on the 15th of March, last night we were leaving the park, and he was taking some Instagram story video, and he said, "Do you know what tonight is?" And I said, "No, should I know?" And Aaron said, "This is the night that we stood on Main Street and Magic Kingdom and Disney Parks closed their doors because of COVID." So,
yeah,
go ahead.
It was the 3rd anniversary. I was at first, I was just standing on Main Street. I'm just like, oh, I remember all the lights here and all that. And then I realized, oh my gosh, it's the 3rd anniversary of that. And so I was just like, I went into kind of, bittersweet nostalgia mode. I'm just like, this is not a nostalgia that you want, because that was the night that for a lot of us, the parks changed forever and our worlds changed forever. And for that matter, I don't want to sound, not sympathetic to what else happened in the world, all those lives lost to this thing. But for us as Disney YouTubers, the parks being open is kind of important to us. And that was the night the parks closed for almost 4 months.
I like the way that you put that. We're not acknowledging the severity of the world, but this is a Disney podcast, and we're just talking about our little microcosm of what happened in that little bubble.
Exactly.
And it was a super emotional night. I can just remember the talk on the monorail with friends, and we were saying, well, how long do you think this is gonna be in effect? And I think we thought, couple weeks.
Because the official word was indefinitely, but the hard rumor at the time was 2 weeks.
Yeah. And we felt that too. Yeah, it's got to be 2 weeks. Wait, not even, couldn't be a month, but the worst case a month, but maybe 2 weeks. I mean, it was hard to grasp even the thought of Magic Kingdom. I sometimes I say Magic Kingdom, but I mean Walt Disney World being closed for even a day. That just seems impossible. And to think that even 2 weeks was humongous of a thing to claim. And I can just remember coming over to the park that night. We were at Epcot, and we park hopped over. And we park hopped over with Tanya and Robin.
Yeah, I had been there all day since first thing when Hollywood Studios opened that morning, because I did an all-day live stream that day, and that entire live stream is still on my channel if y'all want to go check it out. But yeah, I started the day, I even said from the beginning it was going to be a bittersweet, solemn, sad day, but we're going to make the most out of it. And I think I did. Lots of fun. I did not hit all 4 parks that day. I did Hollywood Studios, Epcot, and Magic. And I knew I was going to end at Magic Kingdom because I wanted to see Happily Ever After one last time before the closure. And I knew Magic Kingdom was going to be the epicenter of the kind of, I don't want to call it closing ceremony, but for lack of a better term, I'm going to call it the closing ceremonies. And it was. Everybody was there. The park was packed that night. And it was a big talk on Twitter as well. Look at all these people spreading COVID. And I'm just like, no, we're just saying goodbye one last time because we don't know when we'll be back.
And it became even more emotional because they brought the cast members out of the Emporium in the stores, and they were all crying in the streets.
Oh, yeah.
On Main Street.
DVC, or not DVC, the college program
was
terminated. It was suspended. All current college programmers were let go. It was and the ones that were still working that final day because they needed the staffing were let go from, their positions to go on Main Street and watch Happily Ever After. And they bawled that their college program was being cut short. In fact, our friend Andy was among those that got cut.
That's right. He was, along with his not yet then, but now wife.
Yep.
Whoa.
And I remember talking to him the day, because they cut the college program on the 14th, like mid-afternoon on the 14th. And I remember calling him later that day and was asking him how he was doing. And he was devastated because he was in the process of applying to change from DCP to full-time and become an actual full-blown cast member. And it got ripped from underneath him.
Yeah, that has to be devastating. And what about all these kids? Like, whether it became your dream weeks before you applied, or it was years that you had planned this, and you're here and you're doing it. And I mean, it's got to be devastating. It's not even something that would ever cross your mind that you wouldn't be able to complete your term.
No, and I just felt so awful for the college program cast members. And Tanya and Robin are both parents of former college programmers,
Yes.
and they lost it with them that night.
They did. And my daughter, Jillian, for anybody that doesn't know, who's part of the channel, she was probably, 12 at the time? And 12 or 13, yeah, maybe 13. And she was bawling on camera. I mean, she had the live stream, or I pointed the camera at her for thoughts. And, to see your little girl crying over all of this too, and what's going on in the world, was such an emotional time on Main Street. It's something that we'll never forget. I mean, look at us. We're remembering it in total detail.
And I remember probably the funniest moment of the night, though, was, the park's closed. You got security on Main Street just making sure order is kept. And Tanya and Robin went up and got a security cast member involved in this, and they had a picture of them holding onto the pole, like fake posing as if they were crying, with the cast member saying, "You got to go," and pointing to the exit. And it's just such a funny photo. But it really did encapsulate the emotions of the night, though.
I remember that. That's a great photo. You could probably see that on her Instagram.
Oh,
Scroll
yeah.
back 3 years.
Yeah, and then you got me. I filmed the characters waving goodbye, which is what I was saying about last night when I was making the story. And then I remember going up Main Street to the castle in time to catch the kiss goodnight. The final time it has ever, been shown was of that kiss goodnight.
That is true. That just gave me the chills. And when Happily Ever After was over and people started leaving, there was not a whole lot of people, if I recall correctly, left in the park. And we kind of had free reign to do what we wanted to do. It was kind of like, not that we were running around like mad people and it was chaos, but
No.
it just seemed like there was a little less supervision at that point where, if you're back at the end of Main Street, you're not usually allowed to go back up and go near the castle and all that stuff. But we did. Like, we just kind of walked around looking for each other here and there. We lose each other and back up to the castle, all the way back. I remember going back up to the train station, and Josh and Jenna from Resort TV 1 were up there, and we chit-chatted for a while. We come down. Adam the Woo comes in, just aimlessly walking around, taking photos. Corey was there from Corey Meets World. Nate was there. Just everybody was there.
Oh, yeah. And
it's crazy.
Well, see, and I was wrapping up my stream at that point. And so I went up to the castle, showed the kiss goodnight, and I was like, okay, guys, that's it. And I had a solemn and really sad sign off, which you can still go back and watch. And I was basically trying my best to hold together. I was on the verge of crying, and I did cry as soon as I finally signed off.
And I looked at Tanya and just said, what do we do now? And just saying that gave me the chills too. Like, what do we do as a YouTube channel? What do we do now? And it's the podcast. I was debating if I should say what she told me, and I'm just going to say it. And she just said, because we knew quarantine was coming, right? We knew people were starting to have layoffs and just have to be home. I didn't lose my job, but I was told to go home until things improve, until the patients come back and the doctors come back and all that. For me, it was a 4-month layoff, but when I asked her about what we were going to do about our channel, I said, what are we going to do now? She said, just make more love.
She wasn't wrong.
She wasn't wrong. Lots of time there.
Let's see. Just a couple more points. Let's see. We ended up being one of the last people out of the park that night.
Yes.
And I remember stepping out of Magic Kingdom, crossing that threshold, and I lost it again, knowing that was the last time I was going to step out for who knows how long.
Yeah, and this is definitely concentrated to that particular moment in time that we're talking about. But you talk about taking something you love away, and for a period of time was just once I was home. I mean, I used my time productive. I created a website for the channel that I'm really proud of. I uh I got another certification. So I was productive with that. But when it came to entertainment, I'm home and I'm like, well, let me watch a sport. Okay, can't do that. There are no sports. Well,
Mm.
maybe we can go to Disney. Oh, wait a minute. There's no Disney to go to. Just everything I love. Movies. Let's go to a movie. Oh, we can't do that.
Man, let's see. Literally, okay. So I did that. The next day, I came back and I met up with another YouTuber who I won't name, and I hung out with him for a little bit at Grand Floridian and got my cookie and my Coke one last time before it was shut down too. And I rode the monorail past Magic Kingdom that day, and it was a gloomy day. It really kind of fit the mood quite well. And rode past the Magic Kingdom and saw nobody out front taking pictures, nobody at the tap styles. It was a ghost town, and it was so eerie. And just to have the I can't even remember if the monorail even stopped at the Magic Kingdom station or not. And I think it might have, because people might have still been using the boat launches, but they weren't going in the park.
And let's touch on Happily Ever After again. So, Happily Ever After, I will say that there probably has not been another nighttime spectacular that has had so much drama and emotion surrounded by it. Because, obviously, I think I showed. I have to look back. I'm pretty sure I was live for Happily Ever After. So you and I showed, there were other people doing it too, but we all showed Happily Ever After for the last time for a while, like
Oh yeah,
not knowing. And it was very emotional in that sense.
yeah.
But how emotional was it? I was almost more emotional for it to return. We're back at the park, Magic Kingdom's open, and we're showing Happily Ever After tonight. The place was packed. It was probably the most crowded I've ever seen Main Street for a show. And I just remember when it was over talking to my viewers and just saying, and I don't cry easily, so I can't say I cry at things like that. But boy, I was definitely tearing up in saying, this show is so significant this evening because it doesn't just simply show that, hey, Happily Ever After's back. It shows how although we lost many people in the journey, it shows how we persevered as humans.
Oh
And
yeah.
you can't keep us down. And we're back. And Happily Ever After is celebrating that tonight. We've overcome this.
It was gone for 16 months. Can you get that? 16 months is how long it was gone.
It's crazy, right? You forget that you would just leave Magic Kingdom and there'd be no fireworks show. It's hard to comprehend
And
that.
we're about to get to do that again. Halfway's returning.
Right. So that brings me back to it. So here we are again. We watched Happily Ever After. They announced its closing so that Enchantment could come in. We're very emotional about losing Happily Ever After again. And then here we are again. Happily Ever After will return. It won't be as emotional as a return because of it's not coming off a pandemic, but it will still be somewhat, emotional. So happy that it's back. And
I'll argue it'll be just as emotional, just for different reasons.
yeah.
Because we thought when we said goodbye to it back in 2021 in September that year.
Yeah.
We thought it was going away for good. It
We
was
did.
never coming back.
Disney doesn't do this. They don't do this. Did they hear the people? Is this what happened? Did they hear the people?
Well, see, with Disneyland, they bring stuff back all the time. They do short runs of it. that's what they've done with Disneyland Forever, the 60th anniversary show. But at Disney World, this is almost unheard of.
Yeah.
And so to hear that it was coming back was, just basically unprecedented. And it's about to come back again. And because I remember I watched the final Happily Ever After from the Polynesian, the beaches of the Polynesian. And I remember as soon as it ended, I turned to Roxy and I said, "That's it. It's in the Disney history books now."
Yeah.
And here it is. It's coming back.
Well, April 3rd, welcome back, Happily Ever After. And on the other side of the pond, we welcome back Epcot Forever. There's been so much that's changed in the parks, since the pandemic. Maybe that's a subject we keep for another pod. What do you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you want to get a good comparison, though, just go to my channel, pull up my Epcot Transformation Tuesday, the last one before the pandemic shutdown, and pull up the one I did like a week or two ago, and you'll see a world of difference in the change of the parks.
That'll do it for another week of the DIZ Pod. Make sure you check us out on the Swell app. That's SWELL. We broadcast and drop 5-minute podcasts throughout the week, with the most consistent one being the post live stream walkout from wherever we live streamed during the week. And you can usually count on those within the next 30 minutes of going off the air. And again, we drop every Monday, 9 a.m., a full-length podcast right here where you're listening to, and we hope you continue to follow and enjoy. If you want to contribute in any way, you can do that right on Spotify with ad-free sponsorship. You can also check us out over at YouTube, our channel Living in DIZ, and in the description of any video there, go to the live streams and the replays and click on those, and you will find links for becoming a DIZ Club member and also becoming a Patreon. There's so much to see over there. Check out our website, livingindiz.com. So many great things going on over there. You want to check that out. All you want and need to know about the members of the channel. You can sign up for our email list there so you're alerted anytime we have news, with an extended schedule of our live streams. It's a 3 live stream lineup. Those are typically updated every single Saturday morning. And please send us some questions. We'd love to read them on the air here at livingindiz@gmail.com. For Mushu, Jacob, Jillian, Tammy, I'm Corey from Living in DIZ. Thank you so much for being dedicated to our family, our channel, our podcast. Thank you so much for allowing us to be your ticket to Disney, and we'll see you in the parks.